Shalom. We the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, underneath Commanding General YAHANNA. We're not affiliated or associated with any other Israelite group. Tonight's class is Monday, Scripture Breakdown class here in Greenville, South Carolina. Tonight's topic, we're going to go in on something that's very heavy in the black community. I'm pretty sure everybody's aware that today is Martin Luther King Day. A lot of people didn't have to slave today. A lot of people didn't have to go to slavery, but a lot of us did have to go to slavery. But we're going to bring out some information about Martin Luther King that the media tries to hide, that a lot of Christian pastors try to hide because they don't want to destroy the image of Dr. Martin Luther King. He has an image that has been set up by these oppressors and by these Christian pastors that he's just one of the greatest civil rights leaders of all time. Right. You know, he marched through Montgomery. He did the bus boycott, which was pretty successful, which was very successful. But one thing he didn't realize was that he gave in so quick once our enemies agreed to do things that he thought were good for them. And this is one thing that Martin Luther King didn't, which he should have understood, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the time and era that he was in. You know, Martin Luther King, a lot of people don't even know when he did that march over the bridge, that a lot of adults didn't go with him to march across that bridge. Like when he went to the churches and tried to talk to people to convince older black people, you know, when I say older, I'm talking about in the age frame of 25 and up. They didn't agree with Martin Luther King. They didn't agree with him integrating us towards these oppressors. Right. They didn't agree with him, so they didn't march with Martin Luther King like that. But in fact, the people that marched with Martin Luther King were teenagers. I'm talking about 18 and under. You know, they were marching with Martin Luther King. Those people that were getting sprayed with water hoses, they still allowed to talk about it to this day because a lot of them were children during that time. You know, one sister, she was like 9 years old, and she was talking about how they got sprayed by the water hose, right, bit by dogs. And then you ask yourself, like, what are y'all doing out there at 9 years old? Like, what kind of man would bring children out there to march with these oppressors out there with, I'm talking about, they got, what, K9s? Right. K9s. They had water hoses hooked up to the fire hydrant. The water hose would spray you. The water power was so strong that it would blast your skin off your body. Right. You know, this is the water that they use to put out fires from buildings. But your grandmothers and grandfathers got sprayed for that for Martin Luther King, for integration.
Right.
That's right.
We got people checking in the class. We got Chuba Lakama on. We got Chuba Ratazak.
Sign cry.
Sister Shara. Sister Raya. Kalatazar. And Sister I.S.U.P.K.
Most High in Christ, get them all a hand for being in class, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all being in class, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Our brothers and our sisters. Most High in Christ, man. You know what I'm saying? Get them a hand, man, for being in class. We appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world doesn't, you know, people don't understand how important it is. Like, the Christian church looks at numbers. They think just because we have a little bit of people tuning in to class, like, oh, they don't have a lot of numbers. The scripture says, you know, it's easier for a camel to go through the hole of a pin than a rich man to enter into heaven. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be many people to make it into heaven, man. Like the brothers and sisters that is in these classes right now, man, hey, the Lord is with us, man. Right. What we're doing is very important. But yeah, we're going to bring out some history. And this is what Martin Luther King didn't understand. And this is the reason why Martin Luther King today is dead right now, man. You can hold that scripture that you got, but also could you get me Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10?
Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10.
Go ahead.
Never trust thine enemy.
Never what?
Trust thine enemy.
Never trust thy enemy. This is what Martin Luther King failed to realize. He wanted us to integrate with our oppressors, man. You got to understand, this is in the 60s, man. This is in the 60s. This is where, in the 60s, where we were getting lynched.
Right.
We were still getting beat. You could go to Mississippi, man. It was a horrible time. Like, can you imagine living in Mississippi in the 60s? Hell, Greenville, South Carolina in the 60s. Imagine what it was like. Like, right now, Greenville County, right? Greenville, South Carolina is a diabolical place right now, right? Due to gentrification and all other type of things. But before all of this stuff got built, before Greenville was the popular place that it is right now, it was nothing. It was just country. You had a lot of racism going on in the 60s, man. In the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s, and the 30s, and on down from that, man. It was so much racism. You know what I'm saying? But the scripture says, what? Read that again now.
Never trust thy enemies.
Never trust thy enemy, man. We were never supposed to trust these oppressors, man. And that's what we have been tricked into believing. 2023, right now, black people still trust in our enemies, man. We still trust in America, this society. America is not a friend to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And Martin Luther King, if anybody should have knew, he should have knew better, man. He should have knew better with everything that he was seeing happening to his people, man. Marching us up and down the streets. Like the march on Washington, on D.C., when all the brothers and sisters marched. Like, do you know, like, if you ever take time and pull up, pictures of when black people marched on Washington, D.C., man, you're going to see tons of blacks, even Latinos, man, that marched up there, man. They got to D.C., and guess what? A lot of them didn't even have rides to get back home. A lot of them marched up there to D.C., went up there, and didn't even have rides to go back to their homes. Didn't even have transportation to get back to Mississippi. Do you know how far Mississippi is to Washington, D.C.? Alabama to Washington, D.C., Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, hell, South Carolina. Think about all of these times, man, these places, man, that these people were coming from just to march with Dr. Martin Luther King. And then when a lot of them went up there, they didn't even have transportation to get back. So they ended up staying in D.C. That's why D.C. became Chocolate City. It became Chocolate City because a lot of black folks just end up staying in D.C. and getting jobs and living up there. That's crazy, man. And we marched. Our grandmothers and grandfathers marched with Martin Luther King. And I watched the video, man. Well, a sister said she had to be maybe like 80-something years old. She said Dr. Martin Luther King used to come in this restaurant and eat. She said that he marched. And she said the sad thing is she said he marched and did a lot of those things. And she said nothing has changed. She said the things we seen with Martin Luther King back then, she said we still seeing today. And this sister was 80 years old at this time.
Right.
Saying nothing has changed. You can read that scripture. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemies.
Go ahead.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Right. Just like iron rusted, so is his wickedness, man.
Right.
Just like iron, they got rust on it, but it's still iron. Just like the oppressor, even though he gets old and, you would think that he would change in his old age, he's still a racist bastard, man.
Right.
Still a diabolical creature, man. 2023, has racism ceased to exist here in America? Has things truly changed? Are we in a better condition than what we were during the 60s? Or are we in the worst predicament? At least back in the 60s, you didn't have flaming homosexuals running around like we do now.
Right.
Now black people just rapid with homosexual. It's like it's like a ferocious disease, man, homosexuality, man. And drugs, man. Abortions. All of these different things, man. This is what Martin Luther King fought for, man.
Right.
He fought for the destruction of black and brown people today here in 2023. That's why when I hear all these older folks saying, oh, the younger generation this, the younger generation that, the younger generation this, I tell them, listen, you can't blame the younger generation because guess what? At one point in time, the ball was in your hand.
Right.
And you dropped the ball. And this is the result of you dropping the ball. Martin Luther King had the ball in his court. He dribbled, and he passed the ball to his opponent and let them score. That's what Dr. Martin Luther King did. He didn't even take the shot, which would have helped us gain points and fix ourselves. Martin Luther King got the ball, turned around, and passed it to his opponents and let them score. And now we're reaping the benefits of that. Look at the condition that we are in right now, man. Akash, can you get the article with Martin Luther King, the burning building?
Okay.
Kai, can you Kai, you see the part that's highlighted? The Amsterdam News, New York Amsterdam News. It should be a part highlighted in purple at the bottom. You can get the one where it says it's in one of the articles. Let me see what paragraph that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 8th paragraph where it says actor and activist Harry Belafonte.
Oh, you want to read that?
Cut it.
This is an article out of New York Amsterdam News. Actor/activist Harry Belafonte shared a similar moment about his friend. Midway through the civil rights movement, Dr. Martin Luther King realized that the struggle for integration will ultimately become a struggle for economic rights.
Stop right there, man. Martin Luther King started to realize something during his civil rights movement.
Right.
He started to realize that the struggle for integration would ultimately become a struggle for economic rights. What he was saying was he started to realize the more that we try to join them, the more harder it's going to become for us to get economic rights.
Right.
And guess what? He was absolutely correct. Because what happens when you join your enemy? You lose the things that you have gained. You got to understand something. During this time right here, there were black doctors. Like, we weren't fighting to go join the so-called oppressors' hospital system or to become doctors for their hospitals. We were becoming doctors and nurses and mechanics for our own people. Like, we were doing that for us.
Right.
Like, if somebody went to school to be a doctor, it wasn't to be a doctor so they can go work inside of the oppressor's hospital. We were at competition with them, and we understood that back then.
Right.
But Martin Luther King, he started to deal more with the younger generation, and he got all of us bamboozled, man.
Right.
Bamboozled. A lot of those people that were marching with Martin Luther King, again, like I said the first time, they were younger people, man.
Right.
They were the younger generation. No different than now. Who's the ones marching in the streets whenever there's a protest? It's always the younger generation.
Right.
Black Lives Matter movement. Who were the people that were with them? The younger generation.
Right.
Because they're the ones that are younger, healthy, and stronger. They can go out there and march. Grandmama can't go out there and march no more. Grandma 70 years old. She can't go out there and march in the streets and hold up a sign no more. She gonna get pushed over.
Right.
So guess who marches? The younger generation. It was no different during the time of Martin Luther King. You had the younger generation marching with Martin Luther King. Going with him doing the sit-ins. Go watch them videos and watch who was doing the sit-ins. Those were young people, man, getting punched in the face by oppressors, man. Like, you think about that. Martin Luther King fought for us to get our ass whooped, man.
Right.
Martin Luther King told us, let's do a non-violence movement. You walk inside the oppressor's restaurant to go get a disgusting, filthy bologna sandwich from Earl back there who just changed the oil in somebody's truck and he still works in the kitchen also. You fighting to get that sandwich. That's what you fight. Y'all fought for that sandwich. You go sit at the counter and get punched in the face.
Right.
Martin Luther King started to realize something during this movement, man. He realized us fighting for integration, we were going to lose our economic rights, man. We were going to lose our businesses. We were going to lose our doctor's offices, our dentist office, the different things that we had established for ourselves so we wouldn't have to go to these oppressors and deal with that type of brutality. Right. Like, I don't get why we don't understand. Like, people be surprised when you go to an oppressor's restaurant today still and you deal with racism. This has always been the case when it comes to them. We always deal with racism. So like it, if you could.
Keep going, sir.
Cut.
Cut. Belafonte reflected, I remember the last time we were together at my home, shortly before he was murdered. He seemed quite agitated and preoccupied and asked him what the problem was, according to Belafonte. King responded, I've come upon something that disturbs me deeply.
He said what?
I've come upon something that disturbs me deeply.
So something was bothering him. He was sitting there, he was pondering, he was thinking. And he said, something disturbs me deeply. Go ahead.
We have fought hard and long for integration, as I believe we should have. And I know we will win, but I have come to believe that we are integrated into a burning house.
Read that again from
God. But I've come to believe that we are integrating into a burning house.
Read what he says, we have fought.
We have fought hard and long for integration, as I believe we should.
As who believe?
As I believe.
As who believe?
As I believe we should.
This is what he believed.
Right.
This is not something that we all believe. This is something Martin Luther King believed. And he went with brothers and sisters and sat down with them and talked to them and got them to believe the same thing also.
Right.
But he said, as I believe we should. Go ahead.
And I know we will win.
He knew they was going to win when it comes to us integrating and getting the civil rights movement. Go ahead.
But I have come to believe that we are integrated into a burning house.
And he was exactly right, man. He started to realize that these people were not going to change, man.
Right.
He started to realize, like, I'm pretty much I'm taking the sheep to the wolves.
Right.
That's what I'm doing. And that's exactly what Martin Luther King did with his movement, man. He brought us to the slaughter, man.
Right.
He said it was a burning building. He was exactly right. He walked us right into a burning building that was on fire. And our people got killed in this burning building.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm afraid that America has lost the moral vision she may have had.
And think about that, man. He said at one point in time, America had a moral vision. You think about what year this is. This is in the 60s, man. America had never had a moral vision for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Their vision was for white people.
Right.
White people to be on top, white people to be successful, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians on the bottom. Go ahead.
And I'm afraid that even as we integrate, we are walking into a place that does not understand that this nation needs to be deeply concerned with the plight of the poor and the disenfranchised.
Right. Like he gave us right up to these people, man.
Right.
He walked us right into our enemy's hand, man. And he knew that these people did not care about the poor, man.
Right.
Or the disenfranchised, man. He didn't care about that. He knew them people didn't care about that. Martin Luther King was doing all this for his own personal gain, man. That's what he was doing this for. Go ahead.
Okay. Until we commit ourselves to ensuring that the underclasses given justice and opportunity, we will continue to perpetrate the anger and violence and tears the soul of this nation. I fear I am integrating my own people into a burning house.
Yeah, Martin. You surely did, man. You marched us right into a house that was on fire and we died.
Yeah.
You gotta understand something. Right after Martin Luther King did this, man, like after he died in the 60s, when he died, 69, 68, 69? You gotta understand, they came with the abortion clinics. And ever since you gotta understand something, ever since the 70s, ever since 1973 to up to now, there's been over 27 million abortions in the black community alone.
Right.
You know, 27 million black babies have died since the 70s, man. 27 million black babies have died since the 70s. And this is what, that was 76 when it first started, 73 or 76. Martin Luther King's integration, started when? 1969?
Right.
1968? Yeah, 1968, integration got pushed. You do the math, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. 8 years after that, abortion clinics open.
Right. It's like I said, if I may, that's really heavy what you're saying, because, I mean, it's the simple fact that we join with them, right? That we're gonna have to cleave unto them for everything.
Everything.
You know, we having the most babies out of everybody in the nation. Now, some of us can't some of our women can't take care of the babies or nothing like that. Like the fathers leave, you know what I'm saying? So now we only got one option: go to the abortion clinic.
That's
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
That's it. And give a cause a hand, man. He's right. You got something to say, Kalakza?
So like Ron said, that started in 1954.
With the integration. That's when he started fighting for it.
Right.
He started in 1954 fight for integration.
Started in Little Rock.
Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
And then, does it say the year that it got established?
September 1957.
That's when the integration got pushed.
Right.
He fought for that, and we got integration in 1957, and Martin Luther King got murdered in 1968. He got shot in the head. He got shot in the head, right? Or the neck.
Yeah, like the neck here.
And he got shot in the neck. Like, and this was a man who practiced non-violence, and guess what he got met with? Violence. You know, just sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, man. Now, you can't punch me in the face and think you won't get punched back. I don't know what the hell that's about. Now, Martin Luther King lost his life for trusting in the enemy, man. You can get that scripture from me on Kalatazan?
It's like I said.
Come
Super Lacombe said, he said when MLK died, he said after that was the women's rights movement.
That was pushed off of civil rights.
Right.
Because guess what? Everybody has to have civil rights. You can't discriminate against women. And guess what the women got to do? The civil rights movement. That's what they used. Martin Luther King was a stepping stone for everybody else. The women's rights movement. What else came after that? Then you got your Asian hate crime bill. And you can't say anything against gays or anything. All of that came from the civil rights movement.
Right.
Martin Luther King got shot in the neck so homosexuals can get married. Martin Luther King got shot in the neck so two men can walk down the aisle and have a stank party afterwards. Martin Luther King got shot in the neck just so the Asian hate crime bill can get paid. We have reaped nothing for him marching and getting our grandmothers and grandfathers beat the hell out of, man. We didn't reap anything from it. What did we get from it? What, a stimulus check? A job? What do we get? I'm still trying to figure. That's why I like to ask pastors. Martin Luther King marching for integration. What did Black and Latino people get from that? Because in 2023, they still trying to push our brothers and sisters across the border in Mexico. Black men are still being shot in the streets and murdered by police officers in 2023. Our women are still having abortions. We still don't know who we are. So how did integration help Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? What did it do for us? It did nothing for us, man. It did nothing for us at all, man.
Right.
You can go ahead, Kalatiza.
Jeremiah 23:1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
Nah, it's like, who's that? Ecclesiasticus. Chapter 12, verse 10.
Which one was that though? What was the 10 pastors?
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thy enemy.
Never what?
Trust thy enemy.
Never trust thy enemies. Go ahead.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
All right, go ahead.
11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Right, that's what Martin Luther King thought. He thought because these people, you know, they kind of like, oh, Martin Luther King, we're going to make sure things are good. We're going to make sure y'all get exactly what y'all want. That's them crouching. You know what I'm saying? But Martin Luther King should have took good heed of that, man. He should have took good heed of that. And he should have been aware of who he was dealing with.
Right.
Martin Luther King wasn't aware of who he was dealing with. He thought these oppressors was his friends. No different than now, man. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
Right. Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that his rest have not been altogether wiped away.
Right. That rest is still there, just like the oppressor. Their evil is still there.
Right.
Even though he tries to be nice to him and play like he's your friend. Oh, yeah, I like Johnny. He's pretty good. Yeah, I like Scott. He's a nice guy. Go ahead up.
They gonna say, I can count on my hand how many black friends I got.
He gonna count one. He got one black friend who he calls to his house. He ain't gonna let too many darkies in there. He's like, oh, don't sit on my couch. You're gonna leave a stain. He's not gonna let too many of y'all in there. Something gonna get took. That's what he thinks. That if I let all of them in there, they're gonna take something. Nah, he's not gonna let all of y'all in. But guess what? You'll have a house full of them oppressors.
Right.
As soon as they act like they like you, you're gonna be like, you know what, y'all guys come over to my house. And you're gonna wake up with a cocaine line across your nose, naked, and some type of homosexual video that they don't did to you. It happens all the time. Like you see how these Edomites do each other on them videos.
Right.
You fall asleep, they shave your eyebrow off. They do something gay or gay prank, something like you wake up, somebody push you in your stomach, and you lean up, and his cheeks are right there. You lean up your face, like, come on, man, go ahead up.
I was looking at Facebook the other day, and there was some Edomites on there talking about how black people they don't ejaculate around each other.
What?
That's not normal.
Wow, they said that.
They said it's gay that black people don't jack off together.
What kind of man wants to do that with another man?
Talk about how do you get experience.
You go hang with these oppressors if you want. You're going to wake up in pain. That's all I'm going to say. You ain't going to be the same person. Scott, what happened? Oh, man, you was crazy last night, man. We had a good time. Now you're gay. Huh? Yeah, you're gonna work up with your bottom sore. That's what's going to happen. And you better thank Martin Luther King for that. That's integration. You want to go hang out. You go to their colleges, their frat parties and stuff. Come on, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 12. Set him not by thee.
Right, don't let them be near you. Meaning, don't try to be close to these people, man. Don't try to invite these people around you. Look, Oh yeah, man, that's my best friend. All right, you gonna learn. You gonna let these people get a little too close to you, and they gonna strike. That's what happened with. And remember, what's his name? Kanye West said that. He said that his personal trainer, which was an oppressor, who knew everything about him, and he said, come to find out, the oppressor was like a government official or something like that. And he was like, why are you working with me? He's like, I'm a government official. I'm just here pretty much watching you, trying to see what you're doing. But Kanye West, hey, he set that man by him.
Right.
That's what a lot of our people do now, and guess what? They reap the benefits of getting killed like their sister. There's a story about a sister we brought up, how she went to a sleepover with all these oppressors. She was the only black woman there. She had 6, 7 kids. She done went to the sleepover that these Edomites had, and somebody pushed off the 3rd floor balcony, and she fell and died. Pushed. Nobody got in trouble. The sheriff came out there, didn't press charges on nobody. The sheriff came back there, seen her in the backyard, face down, dead. And they pushed off. She fell to her death. Fell down, broke all the bones in her body. Sheriff came, looked at her body, didn't blame nobody.
Right. If I could,
Go ahead.
I remember when we was reading that article, she didn't get in trouble because she was pretty much well connected. Like somebody knew somebody, and they let her off because it was in a rich neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? The sheriff's not gonna do nothing out there.
Damn right. He's right. Kaz is exactly right. That's what happened. We read that article, and the lady who house she went over to, who probably pushed her off the back, because they probably couldn't stand her. You know how black people get around so-called oppressors. They try to act a little different, act like they wanted them, and they couldn't stand it. And they had been drinking, and somebody pushed her off the 3rd floor balcony. You got it out.
Yeah, kind of like that story where the boy got killed in the high school gym.
And they rolled him up.
In the mat.
Yeah.
But the sign, the one that they feel like did it, his dad was police or new people.
Yeah, they were FBI. His dad was an FBI agent.
Right.
They rolled this body up, and when they found this body, he didn't even have any insides in him.
And they say he rolled himself up in the mat.
And you think about how long his body had been in there. At the high school. At the damn high school. His body was rolled up in a mat in the high school. They killed and murdered that young brother, man. And the worst thing about it was, man, that's the result of integration, man. That's the result of us going to their schools. And they said the young brother had took one of those oppressors' girlfriend and was sleeping with her. And the oppressor wanted some revenge on him for that, because he had publicly humiliated him. You done took this oppressor's daughter, you sleeping with her, doing whatever you want with her. And this oppressor got mad and they killed him. Go ahead on the rest of that scripture.
Least when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
He do what?
He stand up in thy place.
Right. Don't let these people get close to you, because when you fall, when they bring you down, they gonna stand up in your place. That's what they did with the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King stood for it and did what he had to do for it. But when they brought him down and they overthrew him, they stepped up and acted as if they, come on, you think about that. Joe Biden stepped in and said, we're going to pass the civil rights bill for the Asian hate crime bill.
Right.
Martin Luther King marched for that. Just so an oppressor could turn around and use it for Asians. I didn't see any Asians or Orientals marching with Dr. Martin Luther King. I didn't see them. No Dr. Ed, no P. No Dr. Ed, no P. I didn't hear none of that. I didn't see them out there giving out free 8 honey wings and rice. I didn't see none of that.
Right.
Only thing I seen them in the background. They didn't even do anything. Now they got Chinatown. They got different parts of L.A. These people are filthy rich. They didn't even have to march for it. Only thing they did was complain. Dirty Joe Biden, went and passed a bill called the Asian Hate Crime Bill. And he passed this after some oppressor went inside a nail salon and killed those so-called Asian women. But yet, they won't even pass the bill when this oppressor went inside the store in Buffalo, New York, and killed grandmothers and daughters and fathers and grandfathers. They didn't even pass the bill for us.
Right.
They didn't pass no bill for us when Dylan Storm Roof went inside the church and killed those brothers and sisters, man.
Right.
Like, he went inside the church, the most holiest sacred place to a Christian, and murdered those people. And guess what? No Christian had anything to say about it. Joe Biden, who was a Christian, I guarantee you he's Christian and Catholic. He believes in Christianity. What was his right? Why he didn't say anything? Why he didn't try to fix the problem? Because they don't care, man. You had something to say, Kalata?
It's so crazy they passed the Asian hate bill, but the whole time they in the hair stores and nail salons beating on black women.
Beating on black women. He's right. Give him a hand. He's right. How many videos did we see of black women getting beat by these Asians? Nobody never came to the rescues of these women but black men.
Right.
We didn't see not one person say, you know what? These Asians need to stop. Let's pass a bill called Protect the Black Woman. Protect the black family. Nobody passes bills like that for us.
Right.
But a sister going there to get this 50 goop her money to get her nails done, and then he turns up and beat you because you complain about the sloppy job that he did. You think about this. Sisters go in the nail salon to get their nails done. The guy does a horrible job on your nails, and he beats you for not liking the service that he did. That's like you go to a restaurant, you eat the food, you be like, hey, man, this food ain't good. And then the chef come out and punch you in your face. You better eat it, it's good. Like, nah, man, it's not good. Oh, it's not good. Then he punches you in the face. That's what that is when sisters going to the nail salon. Sisters was in there getting their nails done. Oh, she messed up on the nails. Oh, you don't like? Punch you, and your wig go flying off and your face go the other way. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. I ain't laughing saying it was funny, but it was just, and you would have thought sisters would have stopped going to them. Sisters still go and get they and don't even know when the next ass whooping gonna come. They just go in there. Well, I hope Luke Kane don't trip on me today. I hope he do my nails good because I ain't gonna say nothing to him. I seen him cuss out Tasha that time, or he slapped Keisha last week. I'm gonna be nice today. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna make sure Luke Kane don't get mad at me. Wang Young, hey, Wang Young, you didn't fill in on that nail right there. What you say? I ain't say nothing. And go home and cuss that man out though.
Right.
Go home and cuss you out. Babe, what's wrong with your nails? Shut up. I don't want to hear what you gotta say. Damn. Why didn't you say that to Wang Young? What's the other name they call him? Thang Long. Yeah, you ain't said it to Mushi. You ain't say that to him.
Right.
You ain't say that to him when he messed up your nails. I just asked you what's wrong. You cussed me out like a dog. Any more in that scripture?
Okay. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat.
Right. Don't even put him at your right hand. You know how the phrase goes, oh, man, that's my right-hand man right there. Don't let them know what you got going on, man. Like, I'm going to tell you something I'm going to tell you how bad integration is, right? Integration is so bad, and it has us so confused and has us so much under a spell, man, that black people, black gangs, brothers that are in black gangs, will allow so-called oppressors, so-called Caucasian people to join the gang and help them to kill black people.
Right.
Like, you in the black gang, like, you got black... What's some of the gangs that got so-called oppressors in it? I know some blood gangs, some Crip gangs. Yeah, I know some GDs that got white boys in there who fight black guys. And the black guys help the white dudes beat up the other black guy. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? It's like, yeah, he GD. No, he's white. What are you talking about? He shouldn't even be in here. Oh, man, he don't held me down. So you gonna let him beat your brother up, beat your people up, and have his back? That's stupid. That's stupid. We had a name for that back then. We had Coons and Uncle Tom's back then for that. Now you let the oppressor join your gang and beat the hell out of you. That makes no sense. I remember saying that. We was in Fleetwood. And there was an oppressor that was part of the GDs. And the brothers, they took up for him. Like he was one of them. They took up for him. Another brother wanted to fight him. He's like, nah, I'm going to beat his ass. It was like, man, you ain't gonna do nothing. I was like, what? I was confused. I was like, damn, is this Samuel Jackson from the Django? You ain't gonna hurt Master. He fight, we fight. Like, Master, you want us to swing? Like, damn. That makes no sense, man.
Right.
It's a part of integration, man. No different than the gangs. Guess what? You got black men joining the police force who will beat the hell out you for the oppressor. Seen that before. You got it. I go ahead.
Black men showing up for the white cop.
That's it. That's what a lot of them do. A lot of them come out there with their police officer buddies, and he's gonna, like, sometimes in some cases the black cop gonna be the one that's gonna beat the hell out you worse than the oppressor. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that when we stayed in the little hood back in Greenwood. The black cop was trying to show off with the oppressors. Oppressor come, they slam you on the ground and put the knee on your back, and the brother comes, shut the F up, nigga. Like, damn. Brother, I ain't your brother. Damn. You lose all hope. You see the brother coming, you think he finna help you. Brother, he slamming you. Shut up, nigga. They looking at him, yeah. Get him, Gerald. Put the knee on his back. That's the result of integration, man.
Right.
A lot of our people don't been tricked into believing what Martin Luther King. We all should be one. Brothers and sisters, we gotta come together. These are our people. Like, you go ahead. You let them be your people. Me and my brothers, we're gonna sit over here and watch and see the result of you thinking that's your people. Hey man, I'm about to go to their house for a party. You about to do what? All right. Next day you find them strained up hanging from a tree somewhere.
Right.
He must didn't have a good time at that party.
Right.
Come on, you got it.
Oh, dude, that's crazy, man. Because you see, our people. That's exactly what we get for joining with them again. Like I just said, now we sitting there watching them whoop our behind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you just explained, like the cops. They got our. That's how you know it's crazy, because they got our people now turned against us. That's how they use their crap to cancel. Now they got them going against us, our own people. So like you said, what hope is there at this point?
Yes.
That's why the Lord got these nations fighting against each other now.
Right.
Because of that reason. He's going to turn them against themselves so they can get destroyed now.
Damn right. And hopefully us as a nation of people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians,
Right.
with us seeing what they do to each other, hopefully we can wake up and realize, like, damn, if they'll do this to each other, you know what they're going to do to us.
Right.
Matter of fact, hopefully we can just join together, man.
Right.
Like the work that we do in this school, man, the I.S.U.P.K underneath Commander General YAHANNA, man, the work that we do, man, it is phenomenal because nobody on this earth is doing it, man.
Right.
Nobody's doing what we're doing right now. You got people that's trying to do what we're doing, but they're not doing what the I.S.U.P.K underneath Commander General YAHANNA is doing.
Right.
They're not doing it, man. Christian Church, some of your biggest organizations on the face of this earth, receiving billions of dollars. I think, since the 80s, the Christian Church had touched, 470-something million?
God.
Like, they touched almost $500 million.
Yeah.
It might be a billion, but I remember at one point in time it was like $400-something billion, if not more. No. Was it billions?
It's a billion.
Yeah, it was like 200 and something billion. The Christian Church touching all that money, and we still out here praying, thinking that they're gonna make a change for us.
Right.
That's it. The one thing Pastor gonna do, he gonna change up his Rolls Royce. He gonna change his boyfriend. That's what he gonna do. He gonna change his plane tickets to what country I'm gonna go to next.
Right.
Go ahead. Anything else on that?
And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent?
Serpent. Who's gonna pity a snake charmer? You see the snake charmer out there playing with the snake, blowing the thing. When he get bit, who gonna be like, no, he got bit? Or you gonna be like, well, he should have knew better.
Right.
That's us. That's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's why when we complain, nobody says anything.
Right.
They looking at us like, y'all go hang with them, even though they had you in slavery? Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Go ahead, up.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's their favorite thing to say. Oh, that was in the past. When was Michael Brown? Oh, that was in the past. What about Walter Scott? When was that? That was kind of in the past. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep going. You want us to pull some more names up?
Right.
The list goes on and on of who these oppressors have murdered over this time span, man. Go ahead.
Are any such as come now wild beasts?
Right. We're not gonna pity you, man. You out there playing with these oppressors, and then you want some pity. If you could, can we get Isaiah chapter 56, verse 10?
Isaiah 56 and 10. His watchmen are blind.
His what?
His watchmen are blind.
Right. Your watchmen today, who Christians call their watchmen, are the Christian pastor, your politics, all of these different religious sectors that are in the black and brown community.
Right.
These are the people who are watchmen. They're supposed to see what's coming. They're supposed to be able to tell us, like, hey, y'all, listen, don't do this because this was going to happen when you do that. Our watchmen are blind. They don't see anything. They don't see nothing coming, man. Like when Barack Obama signed that bill into motion for homosexuality, you would think the Christian church would have seen that coming, man. You'd be like, man, I know the pastor see what's about to go on. Because guess who, pastors was up there. They prayed for Barack Obama to be in church. They was so blind and lost, they didn't even see this coming, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
They are all ignorant.
They what?
They are all ignorant.
This is your pastors too. All of them ignorant, man. All of them are ignorant. Go ahead.
They are all dumb dogs.
They are what?
All dumb dogs.
Yeah, dumb dog. Dog out there in the yard. A trespasser walk in your yard. He don't even bark. He just look at him and lay back down. It's like, you dumbass dog. What are you here for? I need to take you to Moab and let him have his way with you. Damn dog. You buy the dog to help protect your house. Damn thief come in the yard. He give him a corn dog. He walk out there and start eating the corn dog. Then look at him and then keep eating the corn dog. People break in your damn house. Take everything. Our watchmen are dumb dogs, man. Go ahead.
They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber.
They love to be asleep, man. They love not to be aware of what's going on. Go ahead, up.
One of the slavers I was at, there was this lady, she always acted like she was so holy and all this and whatnot. But there was this other dude, I think I told you about it before. The other dude, he was going to school to be a pastor.
Right.
So one day I was telling him, I think it was around so-called 4th of July. So he was like, oh, you cooking out on the grill for 4th of July? I was like, nah, I don't celebrate that. He was like, why not? I was like, because French used to burn us and that wasn't, we were still slaves around that time.
Right.
Our ancestors were slaves around that time. So he was like, no, we wasn't. No, they wasn't. He was like, we was free. And I said, like, probably like that next week, around like Tuesday or Wednesday, he came to me. He was like, oh, you know what she was telling me? He was like, I just found out that was true. And I was like, I told you. And then the lady that I said I always acted like she was so holy, I guess she heard me talking to him about stuff, and she was like, I'm not going to listen to nobody but Eddie. It's like, I ain't mean to say his name. But I ain't going to listen to nobody but him. But
Who's
I was
Eddie?
telling him stuff, the dude that I said wanted to be a pastor. And I was telling him, and she knew that I was telling him stuff that he didn't even know. So I was like, how you gonna listen to him? And I'm telling him stuff that he don't even know.
That's why the scripture says that all of our watchmen, they are blind. It's what the scripture said, the blind leadeth the blind into a ditch.
Right.
That's what happened. When you got a dumb leader, a dumb watchman, he's going to lead you into a ditch, and he's going to be right there with you. Matter of fact, he's going to walk in the ditch first, and you're going to walk and fall right on top of him, and the next person going to fall right there on top of him. He be like, damn, y'all ain't, nobody don't see these stupid people falling into the ditch.
Right.
Like here in the UPK, we are awake. Our eyes are open. We see what's coming. We know when certain things get passed or certain bills get passed, we already know, okay, they're going to try to use this against us. Anybody with any common sense would know that. You know, these days people use YouTube as YouTube and The Simpsons. That's your God. Whatever The Simpsons say gonna happen. Look, The Simpsons said this was gonna happen. Nigga, shut up. The Simpsons. That's who you go have counselors with. Marge Simpson. Go to the episode when it shows the nuclear power plants. Do what you, all right, go ahead. Y'all go ahead and do your stupidity.
Right.
Go ahead, up.
Verse 11. Yeah, they are greedy dogs.
They are what?
Greedy dogs.
They like dogs that you ever seen a dog that's greedy? Imagine if you got 3 dogs and 2 of them just greedy.
Yeah.
As soon as you pour the food into the bowl, what happens? They eat it up. The other dog just sitting back looking in disgust while they eat all the food. He like, damn, niggas didn't save me nothing. That's our leaders, man.
Right.
They'll try to take everything. All right, go ahead.
Which can never have enough.
Which can what?
Never have enough.
Man, T.D. Jakes, you would have thought T.D. Jakes. You'd have thought with all the money he has, you would have thought he'd have enough. And what's that other devil, man? When the devil said he blows his breath at coronavirus, he's like, I beat you, coronavirus. Oh, okay. Okay.
I know you don't.
Yeah, okay. You know what I'm talking about, though?
God.
The one who they had him in the news for taking all those millions of dollars from brothers and sisters. Like, this was at one time, what, $7 to $8 million he gained for himself? Come on, man. Us in the hood, right? We can't even get nobody to raise us 50 cents. Go ahead, up.
Somebody in our family died. Most of us got to have a hot dog and fish fry.
You got to have a fish fry just to get money from the plates to plan for a burial.
Half the time you don't even get that.
Still don't get it. A lot of our brothers and sisters on payment plans at the funeral homes. They making a once a month payment to the funeral home. God forbid somebody else die in the family. You gonna be in debt until you end up in there. They gonna see your body come in, throw his ass in the furnace. That nigga still owe us money. Still owe us money.
Oh, it's like it's
Come on.
Officer Kazak said, Kenneth Copeland.
Yeah, Kenneth Copeland, master blower. That nigga said, I blow down the pause. That's a scary bastard though. You ever see him look? You remember Jim Carrey in The Mask? You remember the other guy who put the mask on? That's Kenneth Copeland right there. That's how Kenneth Copeland look. Pull up that picture of the other guy, Darius, who put the mask on, and that's what Kenneth Copeland looked like. Like, especially when he smiled, I just be like, damn. That's something that'll give you nightmares. Like, when your kids being bad, have a picture of Kenneth Copeland on a nice poster, and I guarantee you they will run and hide and scream and cry when they see that picture. Like Kenneth Copeland, he had a video with him. He was talking about how he was going to help people and all of this. And then he had another video where they confronted him. Well, you got this amount of money. You got millions of dollars from the thing and from the people. What are you going to do with that money? He told the lady, you get back from my truck. Get back. You trying to play me like I'm doing this and doing that. He was mad. He wanted to kill her. You can see it in his face. He wanted to kill her. You would think, man, with all the money that these pastors get, even Martin Luther King, he got a lot of money too. We're about to read another article about Big Mike, Big Mark, whatever his name is, Martin Luther King. Go ahead again, I'll read that. Verse 11 from the top.
Yeah, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough.
Which can what?
Which can never have enough.
They can never have enough. Go ahead.
And they are shepherds that cannot understand.
All right, they shepherds. What is your shepherd's job? It's to lead the sheep. It's to lead the herd. to protect the herd.
Right.
Go ahead.
They all look to their own way. Everyone for his own gain. Everyone for his gain.
What's
his
good?
quarter.
Yep, damn right. That's what they do. They looking for their own gain from their own quarter, man. They trying to figure out what money can I gain from doing this or doing that. What's the pastor name down here? John Gray. John Gray sat in the White House with Donald Trump, man.
Right.
Sat in the White House with him. And he's the pastor over Redemption Baptist Church right here in Greenville, South Carolina. And what has he did with all the millions of dollars that he got? What he done did, y'all? Did he build a park? Did he go to the neighborhoods and, shoot basketball with the kids or anything like that? He bought a what? He bought a jet.
Right.
That's what he did. He bought a jet. I think it was like $50-something million he bought a jet. If not more. That's what he did. Joel Osteen took your money and bought a nice jet to fly wherever he wanted to go. Right before he need gas, he got y'all on the Sunday to see the Lord knows that we need to do this and do that and build this. I'm going to pass the collection plate around. He don't see what he liking there. Guess what he do? He pass it around again.
Right.
And then one more time just for good to make sure they right. Yeah, it's a big church. You got people donating millions of dollars. They got the choir. They got all type of stuff, man. I seen one of their gyms, and I was just like, damn, people got a lot of money. Yeah, so you want to bring out a car?
No.
Oh, we got any comments?
We got Sister Raya. She said people do stuff at MLK parades that Martin would have done even at his own parade.
Said he wouldn't have done it.
She said that he would have not done at his own parade.
All right, you got homosexuals marching in too. They in there marching for Martin Luther King. You bust out, you see the gay pride flag up there with some homosexual man with Daisy Dukes on with his shirt off. This is for Dr. Martin Luther King.
Right.
I don't think he wants the gayness. So the gayness is for Martin Luther King. Pause. Y'all can have it. Anything else on that article? I meant Slack it. Matter of fact, let me get another article. Trying to see what I sent you, cuz. Go to 10 things you didn't know about Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Come.
This is an article from history.com. 10 things you may not know about Martin Luther King Jr.
Go ahead.
Okay. Baptist minister and social activist Dr. Martin Luther King dedicated his life to nonviolent struggle for justice in the United States. King's leadership played a pivotal role in the entrenched segregation for Black Americans and to the creation of the Civil Rights Act in 1964.
Right, the Civil Rights Act got passed in 1964.
Right.
And guess who that was for? That was not for Black people. That was for the Asian community, the Pakistan community. What's some other communities they got out here, guys?
It's like, what you say? You said the what community first? Said the homosexual community?
Right.
The feminist movement?
The feminist movement.
Shit. It's all boiling in one pot almost.
Right. It's so much, man.
Community. The what? Oh, yeah, the them community.
You don't want to get into it with them. You don't know what you're arguing with. You trying to figure out what the hell you need to swing or just back.
All right.
It's a man, it's a boy. It's a man, it's a boy. What is it?
All right.
I don't even know. Go ahead, Kyle, you got it?
Okay. Okay. Martin, I'm gonna let's go into his name. Martin Luther King's birth name was Michael and not Martin.
Read that again.
Martin Luther King's birth name was Michael.
It was what?
Was Michael.
Michael Luther King. That was Martin Luther King's real name. His real name was Michael King, not Martin Luther King. He started off lying.
Right.
He gave y'all a whole fake name.
Damn.
Go ahead.
King was born Michael King Jr. on January 15, 1929. In 1934, however, his father, a pastor at Atlanta's Ebenezer Baptist Church, traveled to Germany and became inspired by the Protestant reform leader Martin Luther. As a result, King Sr. changed his own name as well as of his 5-year-old son.
As is what?
As that of his 5-year-old son.
Right. Martin Luther King changed his name. They changed Martin Luther King's name. And his daddy wouldn't change his name too. Good night, the whole family. Sheesh. Still like you. All right, go ahead.
King entered college at the age of 15. King was such a gifted student that he skipped grades 9 and 12 before enrolling in 1944 at Morehouse College.
So the man was a smart man and very athletic. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The alma mater of his father and maternal grandfather. Although he was the son, grandson, and great-grandson of Baptist ministers, King did not intend to follow the family vocation until Morehouse President Benjamin E. Mays, a noted theologian, convinced him otherwise. King was ordained before graduating college with a degree on sociology.
He should. That's what he should have did.
Right.
He'd probably still be alive today, but that's what he should have did. Go ahead.
King received his doctorate in systematic theology. After earning a divinity degree from Pennsylvania's Crozer Theological Seminary, King attended graduate school at Boston University, where he received his PhD degree in 1955. The title of his dissertation was a comparison of the conception of God and thinking Paul Tillich and Henry Nelson Lyman.
People crazy. That was it on that up? Come on, go ahead.
King's I Have a Dream speech was not his first at the Lincoln Memorial. 6 years before this iconic oration at the March on Washington, King, among the civil rights leaders who spoke in the shadow of great emancipator during the prayer pilgrimage for freedom on May 17, 1957. Before a crowd estimated between 15,000 and 30,000, King delivered his first national address on the topic of voting rights. His speech, which urged America to give us the ballot. Drew Strong reviews positioned him in the forefront of the civil rights leadership.
All right, if you could, that should be too hard. Okay. What's the other one? All right, that's it on that one. All right, can you get the other one? The one that says Martin Luther King Jr. Dark Side.
Okay. This is an article from ATI.com. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Dark Side.
Martin Luther King what?
Jr.'s Dark Side.
Let's find out something about his dark side. Go ahead.
Accusations of infidelity. King married Coretta Scott in 1953, and they seem to have been happy with each other until his death in 1968. A shared belief in civil rights helped their marriage remain a happy one.
Right, so everybody thought Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott had a good marriage because every time you see them together, they're like, oh, they such a nice couple.
Right.
Go ahead.
Scott had been an anti-segregation activist herself. Early on, the two seemed to have a genuine affection for each other. Another less happy element that kept the couple together was Scott's ability to turn a blind eye to the countless affairs that King had while he was on the road.
Ooh-wee. They said that she had a blind eye for the countless affairs that King had on the road. Go ahead.
The FBI began tapping King's phones in the spring or summer of 1963.
Damn, they had been tapping his phone. Go ahead.
And later planted bugs in hotel rooms where he stayed when on the road.
He was at them hotel. They had bugs in there tapping his phone. Not bed bugs, but these are real live bugs tapping this man's phone. Go ahead.
Initially, the FBI worried about communist infiltration of King's group.
Right. They thought Martin Luther King was a communist because he went to a communist school to learn. Go ahead.
The Southern Christian Leadership Conference, because of his association with former communists such as Stanley Levison, what came through on the tapes wasn't communist plotting, however, but intense, nearly constant sexual activities with countless women.
Read that again.
Like, he came through on tapes. It's like, what came through on the tapes wasn't communist plotting, however, but intense, nearly constant sexual activities with countless women he met on his travels.
He met what?
Countless women he met on his travels.
Come on, doctor. Come on, Michael. What you out there doing? They said the FBI tapped his phone and heard all the dirty conversations that he was having.
Right.
Go ahead.
The recordings and the incidents they revealed shocked the FBI.
It did what?
Shocked the FBI.
Right, go ahead.
Many times, King recruited multiple women.
He did what?
Recruited multiple women.
Right. Martin Luther King was a freak. Go ahead.
Who appeared to have been in a mix of groupies and prostitutes.
And what?
Mix of groupies and prostitutes.
Right, so he liked them prostitutes.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King loved them prostitutes. And what was the other one?
It's like
You said
groupies.
Kai.
Groupies, been a mix of groupies and prostitutes.
He liked groupies. He liked the women. That's like you at a concert. The women like you because of who you are. Martin Luther King took advantage of that. He having sex with you. He and having sex with you. I have a dream. Ooh-wee. That's what he had.
Right.
He had a good dream with a lot of different women.
Right.
Go ahead.
And who may have been paid with it's like an SCLC money for post-speech trices that range from plain one-on-one encounters to orgies involving half a dozen people.
Damn. They said it involved half a dozen people. They said he ran from plan for one-on-one encounters to orgies that had half a dozen people. So Martin Luther King doing what you was talking about, and masturbating in front of his friends. They in there with half a dozen women at a time having sex. Martin Luther King and woo. What about that speech, y'all? Go ahead.
Oh, God. Several other clergymen in his entourage were typically present for these indiscretions.
according to King's closest friend Ralph Abernathy, who drew criticism for airing King's dirty laundry in his 1989 memo.
Right, in 1989, he told people about the dirt that Martin Luther King was doing right here. Go ahead.
According to Abernathy, just about everybody attached to King believed in Christian moral precepts, but they had a hard time keeping to them.
Damn. That's what you call a hypocrite. That's how it is today. Like, everybody know how to deal with them. They know what the Bible says, but they you know, we fall short. The Lord knows my heart. Go ahead.
Like, was that done in the question,
What's that? He saw the best of me? That song is weird. That one said, he saw the best in me.
Yeah, that was
So what? And then the lyrics is even more zesty. You like, dang. Turn that off. For your man. Like, if you love your man, that's the song you play right there.
right.
Go ahead, up.
When King traveled to Oslo to receive 1964 Nobel Peace Prize, for example, 2 of his associates nearly got themselves kicked out of the hotel when staff caught them chasing nearly naked prostitutes through the halls.
God damn. Martin Luther King busts out there, his boss is chasing half-naked prostitutes around the hotel. They having a good time. Go ahead.
King was especially fond of arranging sex with women he met at his speeches.
So he going to the speeches. You think he being a good brother? Yeah, y'all have a good one, y'all. He see a fine sister walk by. Get me that sister right there. Sister, you know I have a dream. Yes, Mike, I got a dream too, Michael. And you take the Ku Klux Klan mask off and you realize you got Joe Dirt's grandfather, Bill Dirt, out there having sex with women. Not even for gas money. Just to have sex with them. Go ahead.
According to one of his associates, both black and white women would pass King their phone numbers or hotel room keys minutes after meeting him.
Damn. He couldn't control himself. He had to smash it right then and right there. Go ahead.
Nobody who knew him then seems to remember an occasion when he passed up such an invitation. These
Escapaders.
these escapades eventually became common knowledge. Interviewed in private years later, even Jackie Onassis admitted that Robert Kennedy had told her all about the FBI recording.
Damn, the FBI already knew about all the stuff Martin Luther King was doing. We the ones that don't know.
Right.
Like, you Christian pastors, y'all love Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was a good man. What's good about getting punched in the mouth? Nothing. Go ahead.
And that he knew appalled her. Some anonymous person at the FBI even sent copies of tapes to both King and his wife.
Damn. They sent the tape. You get the tape with Martin Luther King on the smashing, what they call the tape back there in Booty Talk 6.
Right.
Yeah, Booty Talks 1967. Martin Luther King on there with the devil, with the oppressor. Go ahead.
King allegedly brushed off the exposure
Excuse me.
with a remark about being surprised that he knew so much about him. While Scott later claimed that she couldn't make out what she heard and ignored the whole thing. Years later, Scott told an interviewer that she never asked King about infidelity.
Damn. That's why he was out there doing it. He ain't have to worry about nothing. He's like, my old lady ain't gonna say nothing.
Right.
Go ahead.
She didn't want to bother him over a thing like that, she said.
Damn right. All right. Okay, you talking about? All right, go ahead. It might be. You can go to your kind.
Martin Luther King divided in.
Perhaps the most lurid tale of Black King's relationships with other women comes from the late last night of his life. In 1989, book about civil rights movement and the walls came tumbling down, King's closest friend Ralph Abernathy wrote that King had a few friends left the Masonic temple where King had delivered his last speech to get some drinks and attend a party. King reportedly disappeared into a bedroom at the party with a young woman and didn't come out until 1 a.m.
Damn, well, I think they was in there having a good conversation about something.
Yeah.
He ain't had sex with her. Go ahead.
Like, and King left the house together and returned to Lorraine Motel where a female state legislator awaited him.
Damn. Martin Luther King was a bad boy. He had sex with all the women. Go ahead. Damn.
King again disappeared into a bedroom with the woman while Abernathy stretched out to get some sleep. Around 8 a.m. that morning, according to Abernathy, King shook him awake and asked for his help dealing with the third woman who he said had been waiting for him all night long.
Damn.
And was very angry.
Damn, he done stood somebody up. They about to beat the hell out of him. Martin Luther King was in there slinging rod to these women. That's why he said, I see you on the mountaintop. That's where he gonna see you at. Go ahead, up.
Abernathy followed King back to his room and witnessed an argument between the pair that quickly turned physical.
Damn, not only did he was out there fighting. Go ahead.
He claims that the two struggled briefly and that King eventually struck the unnamed woman hard enough to knock her across the bed.
God.
And that she
Damn.
left soon after.
Martin Luther King was a woman beater, man. He didn't pay somebody, he had to fight. That's what that about. I said he hit her so hard she went across the bed. She got up, he hit her again, she went flying over the bed. Damn. Go ahead.
The date was April 4th, 1968. Around 10 hours later, just after 6 p.m., King stepped out onto the balcony for a cigarette and was shot by a sniper. Ralph Abernathy held him until he died and waited more than 30 years until he was near death himself to write that he knew about Martin Luther King Jr. and that he had loved and admired.
All right, that's it on that. What time it is out? What time the grill started now? What time Black Watch started? 8:30? 9 o'clock. Oh. The car's gonna take off. You got some? Okay, good.
Let's give a precinct officer 1,000 Officer Bond a hand. I'm about to close it out for him though. As we await the Black Watch from Commander General YAHANNA, will start at 9 o'clock. So you already know he got some heavy stuff to bring out tonight. So I'm gonna get a couple precepts covering this. Let's see. It's like, can you give me Deuteronomy 76, Baba Kushah? Take it to. Okay.
Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right. Said, for thou art the holy people, man, unto the Lord thy God. You know, this is the bedrock scripture here in the UPK, man. We go over this all the time. us, you know, going over Martin Luther King and stuff, you know, how we integrated, how we joined these people for all these years, man. Just because, you know, he decided he wanted to join people because of his own thoughts, you know what I'm saying, his own ways. You know, he didn't know the Lord's way. You know what I'm saying? He followed his own way, you know? So he thought that gave him the right just because he was ordained to be a so-called pastor, a leader, a priest, which he's not, which he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He thought he was those things, and he thought he just had it just because it got passed down to him. You know what I'm saying? But we actually get ordained here in the UPK. You know what I'm saying? We got to put in work. We got to get trained up. He went to Bible school in college, and because his father was a pastor, and his grandfather, you know what I'm saying? So, therefore, when it says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God," the Lord is calling us, the children of Israel, a separate people, man. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? We're separate from these people, man. Keep going.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
He said, the Lord God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, man. Keep going.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right, above all people that are upon the face of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? With us being a holy people, man, we're not supposed to want to do or join everything with everybody, man. Because look at us now. Look at the state that we're in now as a whole. It's detrimental to our health, to our wealth, to our generations, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a virus that's going through our people. You know what I'm saying? We can't come together as a nation, as a people, because of this reason. Because we joined ourselves to their ways, man, to their businesses. You know what I'm saying? We could have done this stuff right on our own, man, right on our own. We didn't need that. You know what I'm saying? You keep going. You go to 7.
7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people.
Right. He said, the Lord, our God, he didn't choose us or set his love upon us, nor choose us because we were more in number. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're multiplied now, but at the time, you know what I'm saying? He didn't choose us because of the numbers, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord saw, you know, us as a special people. He saw what we were about. You know what I'm saying? He saw the spirit in us that we were made in his image, man. That we were the ones that could carry out his reputation on the earth better than anybody else could. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he chose us. Give me one sec. I'm gonna get one more. Should like it. Oh, you got it. Go ahead. I'm gonna get 1 Peter 2:9. So 1 Peter 2:9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, man. He said we're a chosen generation, man, and a royal priesthood, and a holy nation. Like we just went over in Deuteronomy 76, we're a holy nation, a separate nation, a special nation, and a peculiar people, that ye shew forth the praises of him who hath God called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. You know what I'm saying? We should show our works to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because he called us out of darkness, man. Out of the hell that we're going through today. You know, thinking that we're supposed to be part of these other nations. You know what I'm saying? When I say part of these other nations, I'm telling you, don't follow their ways, man. No, don't do what they do. Don't get beguiled. Don't get tricked. You know what I'm saying? By just following everything and getting a handout from everything they got in here in America. You know what I'm saying? In verse 10, which in time past were not a people, but now the people of God, which have not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. You know what I'm saying? In times past, we didn't obtain that mercy for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? He had to put his foot in our ass. You know what I'm saying? He had to do that. He had to put his foot down. Or else we weren't going to understand. You know what I'm saying? We weren't going to understand how to come out of these conditions. You know what I'm saying? We were just going to keep going and doing whatever we want until we extinct. You know what I'm saying? We would have kept going our own way. And he would have destroyed us, man. He said, but now we have returned mercy. You know what I'm saying? He giving that gift to us now that we can come back and be his people again, man. I'm going to go ahead and close out, man. Get the security numbers. All right, we the I.S.U.P.K. started on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander Jenny YAHANNA. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need a transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother and a sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. This is tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, my Aisha. 10% of any increase that the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation. All right, we had the Feast of Purim. It's the Feast of Purim, 14th day of the 15th day of the 12th month. It's like a Sunday the 5th, March, and Monday through Monday the 6th, in March through 2023. You can read about this in Esther 9 and 20 through 31. Remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, shalom.